Welcome to Science on the Edge Snack Size. I'm Dr. Mark Darcy, and in this snack I'm going to talk about isothiocyanates, specifically an isothiocyanate called sulforaphane. What are isothiocyanates, I hear you ask? Well, I'm about to tell you. They are an interesting compound that you actually find in a number of vegetables, specifically cruciferous vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables include such all-time favourites as radishes and broccoli and cabbage, also sprouts and other greeny leafy vegetables. Now, the one I want to talk about specifically is an isothiocyanate called sulforaphane, which you find in quite large amounts in broccoli and broccoli sprouts. Broccoli sprouts are basically the freshly seeded broccoli, so the small shoots that you get when you actually plant broccoli. You have about 100 times as much of this isothiocyanate known as sulforaphane in broccoli sprouts as you actually get in adult broccoli. So, why isothiocyanates and why sulforaphane? Well, a number of interesting studies have been conducted over the last couple of decades involving isothiocyanates, and it seems that they have an extremely powerful effect on health and well-being. First of all, they reduce the chances of developing many forms of cancer, from colonic to prostate to brain cancer. They also reduce the chances of developing diabetes and Alzheimer's. So a number of health benefits from these isothiocyanates. And I don't mean the chances of developing these diseases are reduced slightly by taking such compounds. They're reduced quite dramatically. So the one I want to talk about specifically is sulforaphane, which I mentioned is found in such things as broccoli and broccoli sprouts. I'll talk a little bit about its mechanism of action first of all, and then I'll talk more about the benefits. So first of all, the mechanism of action. When you take, say, broccoli sprouts and chew them, you actually release two compounds from chambers within the cells of the plant. One compound is known as Glucoraphanin, and another is known as myrosinase. Now, Glucoraphanin on its own doesn't do a whole lot in the body, but when it reacts with myrosinase, which is an enzyme, you produce the compound sulforaphane. So the act of chewing the broccoli sprouts or broccoli brings these two compounds together, the myrosinase and the Glucoraphanin. They react and you get sulforaphane. It's the thing that kind of gives broccoli and broccoli sprouts and radishes that kind of bitter taste. That's reaction between the myrosinase and the Glucoraphanin producing the sulforaphane. You get that bitter taste. Okay, so what happens when you ingest this product? So once you ingest the sulforaphane, that's where things get interesting. So it enters your cells, and when it enters your cells, it switches on or activates a gene known as NRF2. Now, NRF2, when activated, switches on a whole host of other genes and regulates a whole number of proteins within the cells. Now, what's interesting about the type of proteins that are regulated by NRF2 is that they are predominantly involved in kind of down-regulating the inflammatory response. So they bring down inflammation. Now, if anyone who's listened to my other podcasts, you'll find that I've mentioned quite a few times that inflammation is really bad. Inflammation can result in autoimmune diseases, in cancer, in diabetes, in all sorts of things. And it looks like inflammation also plays a role in things such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. So bringing down inflammation is usually a good idea. So the sulforaphane upregulates the NRF2. NRF2 then downregulates the inflammatory compounds, proteins, cytokines. Therefore, it dulls down inflammation. And it seems that this dulling down of inflammation is what causes many of the benefits of sulforaphane. So the reduction in development of certain cancers, of Alzheimer's disease, of Parkinson's. So, in summary, sulforaphane reduces the rates of cancer, Alzheimer's, and a number of other negative conditions such as diabetes. And it does so by stimulating the production and the upregulation of NRF2, which then downregulates inflammation. So I suggest you all get eating your cruciferous vegetables. If you don't like broccoli, that's not the only vegetable that contains sulforaphane. There are radishes, there are sprouts. If you don't like any of these sorts of green vegetables, then you can actually get sulforaphane in pill form. I should warn you, however, that most suppliers only supply a pill containing generalized broccoli extract. And the problem with that is, in many cases, you get the glucoraphanin that you find in broccoli, but the myrosinase, the enzyme that turns the glucoraphanin into sulforaphane, has been as basically been denatured due to the process of extracting the broccoli. If you heat up broccoli, for example, to too high a temperature, you can destroy the myrosinase, and by doing so, the glucoraphanin cannot be turned into sulforaphane, which is what you need. So if you're looking to get broccoli extract, I would find a supplier that actually just includes in its extracts the sulforaphane itself, the active ingredient. Or you can simply make smoothies. That's one easy way to get your hit. If you take the broccoli or the broccoli sprouts or kale or whatever the source of glucoraphanin and myrosinase that you choose, if you take that plant and put it in a food processor, you can turn it into a smoothie, maybe even add a bit of juice to make it less harsh, less bitter, and you can drink the whole thing. You can just chug a pint of this stuff and you get your hit of glucoraphanin and myrosinase, and therefore sulforaphane, without having to go through the lengthy procedure of eating all those nasty vegetables. Okay, that's all for now. I will give you another snack size soon. Thanks again for listening. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did find the episode interesting and would like to know a little bit more, there are a number of ways you can do that. First of all, you could follow me on Twitter. My handle is at Dr. Mark Darcy. That's just all lowercase, DRMARKDARCY. You can drop me an email. The address is info@scienceontheedge.com, or you could visit the website, scienceontheedge.com. The website is still under development, but new content is appearing all the time. Also, if you would like to support Science on the Edge and keep these podcasts under production, then you can make a small donation by visiting scienceontheedge.com and clicking on the donate button. Thank you very much and hope to see you again soon.